Welcome to Valhalla here at Pleasant Grove High School for this edition of High School Rewind, available on highschoolrewind.com and the High School Rewind YouTube channel as the Pleasant Grove Vikings host senior night, their last home game of the season, last game of the regular season, by hosting their Region 4 rival, the Lehi Pioneers. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Dane Stewart here to bring you tonight's game. An important game for you here tonight in Region 4. It's very simple. Win this game, and you're the number 3 seed out of this region. Lose this game, and there's a potential for a play-in situation later this week. A lot on the line. Let's start first by introducing the visiting Lehi Pioneers, winners of 3 straight, a team that got off to such a hot start this season. They scored 117 points in their season opener, but they have hit tough times here in Region play. Again, winners of 3 straight, coming off a big victory against American Fork, a game in which Tanner Nygren, we're going to say that name a lot tonight. He's a top 10 scorer in 5A. He scored 29 points, including 3 3-pointers in that one. He leads the team in scoring. And then you factor in other kids like Blaze Neild, second on the team in scoring, and just outside that top 10 in scoring in 5A. And then also you can't forget Marcus Draney. He is third on the team in scoring. He's just a junior. He's got 1 more year. And this is a good Lehigh squad. Again, a hot start. They are trying to just hold on and make the playoffs here in Region 4. Speaking of holding on, the Pleasant Grove Vikings, this is a team that just a couple weeks ago was in second place in this region, and they've hit hard times as of late. Most recently, a loss to the Lone Peak Knights. They are led by Brody Childs, and this is a kid who has dominated our top 5s. He's been player of the game multiple times here on High School Rewind. He's had a really good senior year this year, leading the team in scoring, rebounding, and steals. Brody Childs, he's been a primetime player this year for the Vikings, who come in tonight 6-5 overall, as does Lehi. Again, trying to get a win here on senior night and a berth to the state playoffs. We mentioned Childs, a couple other names to watch for. Matt McCarty down low, a senior. They're going to rely on him inside the paint. Important for him to stay out of foul trouble. And then another kid we'll give you is Keaton Kuhn. In their earlier match this year, Kuhn actually scored 25 points. He averages just under 10 per game, had 25 in that one, 6 3-pointers. He's a guard. He's a guy who can really, really light it up. And then they have a top assist man in Brandon Wellman, one of the kids who loves to spread the ball around, really gets his teammates involved. This can be a very balanced Pleasant Grove team. When they are, it's likely they win. The Vikings and the Pioneers, one of them punch a ticket to the state tournament tonight. Which one? We're about to find out. Tip off next here on High School Rewind. Getting ready to tip off here from Valhalla, Pleasant Grove, in the home white and blue, and the Lehi Pioneers in their road black and purple. Nygren, Neild, Draney, Berry, and Tuckett for Lehi. Leatham, Doman, Wellman, Childs, and McCarty for the Vikings. Underway from Valhalla, the tip controlled by Pleasant Grove. This is Braden Wellman. Called him Brandon in the open. My apologies to him. As he gets it over to Leatham, was looking for the lob. McCarty couldn't finish it. They'll put back no good, and here come the Pioneers. Neild gives it back to Nygren. This is the kid we talked about, lost his footing, able to keep the possession for Lehi. See good movement here early, and it's Childs creating the steal for Pleasant Grove. We'll give it off to Leatham. And now inside to McCarty, and Barry's going to have the task of guarding him as he fouls him early. Bucket no good. This foul on the floor. First on Chase Berry. Inbound to McCarty. And then knocked out of bounds. Stays here. Wellman. Far side of the floor, defended by Neild. Good defense by Neild here early on. Swung around to Doman, back up top. Wellman around the screen. Back to McCarty underneath. First points of the ball game. Chalk it to Matt McCarty, the 6'6 senior on senior night with his first points. Ball nearly stolen again by Childs. Already has 1. 3-point attempt on the way from Nygren, front of the rim. And the rebound to Pleasant Grove. Wellman pushing it up the floor. Doman on the drive, jump stop, but he missed it. Couldn't tell if the presence of Berry affected it. It might have. Tuck it the other way. Berry back to Ethan Tuckett. He can also hit the long bomb. He hit a half quarter a week ago against Lone Peak, made our top 5. Go check that out. As a foul here on the floor, going to be called on McCarty, his first personal. Berry with the inbound in the corner, up top to Marcus Draney. Neal thought about it. No look pass in the paint. And Barry can't finish it. Rebounded by Pleasant Grove. 2 minutes into the contest. 2-0, the Vikings out in front. McCarty with it, baseline. He's going to pull up from there. Matt McCarty from 17 feet is good. 4 early points here, all of them to Matt McCarty for PG. Giving off to Tuckett. Now Draney with the drive, being defended by Doman. Boy, tough shot from Draney. The ball tipped. And now we're going to have a foul called here on Marcus Draney as he was trying to create the dual possession. Kuhn is checked in for Pleasant Grove. Mentioned his big game when these two played earlier this season. They'd love to get another big performance out of him tonight on senior night. One of the better three-point shooters on this team. Wellman back to Childs, who set the screen, attacking glass. And Brody Childs able to finish from close range. It's 6-0 Pleasant Grove. 3 minutes in. Draney. Now Nygren. Boy, good find underneath to Barry. And Lehi is finally on the board. It's Nygren, a beautiful drive, and then able to dump it off to Barry for the easy finish. Wellman trying the other way, and it's blocked by Neal, and then able to save it. Now Lehi with numbers. Nygren being hounded by Vikings. He'll finish at the glass. And a quick 4 points for Lehi. Keyed by their senior Tanner Nygren. McCarty with the screen up. Wellman able to create some space, but he walked with it before he was able to get rid of the ball. Turned over. Neal to run the set here for Pleasant Grove. Wellman picks him up in the backcourt. Over to Nygren. Look at that double team come. Just dribbles through. What a play by Tanner Nygren. He took on 4 of the Vikings on that drive alone. As that pass from Wellman a little too tall for McCarty. Tanner Nygren with 4 of Lehi's 6 points, and the other pair he had the assist. He's been involved in every one of them. Tuckett, it was a backdoor cut by Neal. Good idea, but broken up by PG, and now the Vikings have numbers. Wellman, lob to Childs. Nearly the alley-oop. Childs, more important to finish the play, he does. The lead back to PG now, 8-6. Boy, the C just opened up for Blaze Neal as he attacks the rim and gets his first 2. And the pace really picking up here from Pleasant Grove High School. Lehi would love to get into a run-and-gun game. They score 70 points per as that shot from McCarty no good, and you see them again pushing it up the floor quickly. Neal over to Draney, extra pass, Barry in the corner, thought about it. Well, it was more, I don't think it was a real intention, as now Nygren turned it over. Here comes Leatham, over to Wellman. He thinks better of it. McCarty with a left-handed finish. 6 points for Matt McCarty, trailing on the play, as he now leads all scorers in the ballgame. Neal looking for some isolation. Underneath, Tuckett all alone. Don't know if it was miscommunication or the design of the defense, but came up to try to stop Neal, and no one picked up the 6'2" Ethan Tuckett. 10 apiece. And a 10-4 run by the Pioneers in the last 4 minutes. As Wellman will back it out. Kuhn up top with Leatham now. Childs underneath. Great play by the Vikings that time as McCarty went over to set the pick. Childs came around it and was right at the rim, able to finish despite fading away. And the lead back to Pleasant Grove. Nygren, the step through and the lefty. Tanner Nygren showing his scoring prowess early here. Mentioned He is a top 10 scorer, averaging 18.5 per game. He has 6 here in the early going. Good start for him. Thrown in the corner. Kuhn just able to save it back out to Wellman, but he couldn't come down in play. And it's turned over. Some substitutions. Christensen in for Lehi, and coming in for Pleasant Grove, Casey Brown, David Peterson, and the 7'3" freshman, Matt Van Komen. That's going to be a name you'll hear a lot of from down here at PG. There he is, coming over to help with the baseline defense. Kick out, three-pointer, no good. And Van Komen had his paws on that one. It was tipped out. As PG now comes down the floor inside of 1 minute left here in the opening quarter. Still tied up at 12 apiece. Boy, almost getting the steal. That time was Barry Childs going to try. The three is good. 9 points for Brody Childs for the Vikings. What a first quarter. A big three-pointer there as PG back up top. Draney going to try to match it halfway down. And then we've got a foul underneath. I think this is going to be called on Christensen. It is his first personal. McCarty checks back in here with 20 seconds left. Pleasant Grove basketball and a three-point lead. Looking like Coach McAllister would love to take the last shot here. Clock at 10. Barry able to poke it away from Brown. Has help and kneeled, and Brown fouled him to not give up the easy bucket here with 6.3 left. Barry makes them both, and with 6 seconds left, Viking basketball. Peterson able to dribble through the double team. Three-pointer from Childs, no good, and the horn sounds. Got off to a slow start, it picked up late. The Vikings with the lead, 15-14 over the Pioneers after one. Second quarter underway here, Lehi basketball. A good crowd tonight, and more still coming through the entryways here. Is that ball in the corner now with Christensen. Back up top to Draney. Brown came over and drew the offensive foul. That will be the second personal on Marcus Draney. Casey Brown running the point here, and just a freshman for Coach McAllister. At times he has those young mistakes. We saw him turn it over late in that first half, but at times picks up big plays like that, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. Going to be a fun one to watch for Pleasant Grove fans in years to come. Kuhn picked up his dribble over to Brown. Lehi in a zone here. Skip pass to Kuhn. Trying to attack, knocked away. And now it's Neal on the other end. There's Brown again, and another offensive foul. As Neal looks around and says, what was that? Casey Brown, back-to-back charges drawn. Pleasant Grove basketball, and boy, I might be with Blaze Neal on that one. That might have been a tough one to take. And now Kuhn in some trouble, able to get rid of it over to Brown. As you see Lehi starting to pick up the intensity on the defensive end here. Peterson. Brown in the corner, back up top with David Peterson. It's a kid who can also light it up from long range. Is now Barry going to pick up the foul. It will be his second personal. Wellman in the ball game, and Tyson Rupp in as well for Lehi. Wellman to Brown. Thought about the three, back to Wellman. Brown's going to try the three-pointer. Good for Casey Brown. His first points tonight is the open three. Lehi in the zone was doing a good job moving, but Brown with the quick shot before they could adjust. And the lead up to 4 for Pleasant Grove. Neal to match, can't do it. Ball batted around and kept in possession by Christensen. Rupp underneath, skipped across the front of the rim, and then Childs lost. No, he dribbled it out off of Lehi. It will stay PG ball. Wellman across half court. The lob to Childs. What a play for the Vikings. And Brody Childs now in double figures off the alley-oop from Brown. Watch for that coming up in our top 5. Neal underneath to Rupp, double teamed. They'll give it back to Neal, and now back up top with Nygren. PG in a little zone of their own here. Two-man game, Nygren and Neal. Now coming up was Christensen at the elbow. Calling for it again. Instead it'll be Tuckett with it. And right now, PG doing a great job of keeping the ball on the perimeter. There's not much room inside. There you go, in with Rupp. Rupp will finish the play, his first points of the night. And just as we said, they couldn't get the ball inside, 2 quick passes, and Rupp able to net it. 20-16, the PG lead here. Wellman to Kuhn, a corner 3, good for Keegan Kuhn, and a timeout taken by Lehi as the lead pushed up to 7. You see what Coach Yeager told his team. Right now, PG has done a great job of extending this lead. It's been an 8-2 run by the Vikings here in the first 3.5 minutes of play of the second quarter. Well, that time, Tuckett got stuck in the air. It stayed with with Lehi, and a three-pointer there by Neal is good. Neal now with 5 points, and he's the best three-point shooter on the squad for Lehi. Able to get a big one there. So we are inside of 4 minutes left, over midway through this second quarter. Coming up on the help D, that time was Rupp, causing some ruckus with Wellman. Trapped, Wellman nearly stepped over that half-court line. Don't think he did, though, as Kuhn underneath. That one just came off the rim. McCarty with the offensive board for the Vikings. Childs working around the screen, and he gets fouled here, as it will be Christensen picking up his second. Brody Childs, front end of the 1-and-1, left it short, and it's rebounded by Lehi. 17 fouls on Lehi, only 2 on PG. Would not be surprised to see some bouncing out of the whistles coming here soon. Tuckett with Christensen from the elbow. Shot's no good. Rebounded by Rupp. Able to get it to Nygren. Tough shot, blocked away by Childs. Great defensive play by Brody Childs right at the rim. And now McCarty with it on the other baseline. Left-handed, McCarty gets the roll. 4 different Vikings have scored here in the second quarter, as Coach Yeager in the official's ear pleading for a call. Didn't get that trip. High screen from Rupp. And now Tuckett looking to drive. Good find of Nygren, though he was under the basket. A three-pointer from Neal hits the back of the iron and goes over the glass. It will be Viking basketball. 2.5 left to play here in the first half. Childs coming around the screen. I thought he may have had enough room to get that shot off. Great play, finding McCarty. Right now, two-man game is Childs. Those two have been a great duo this year for Pleasant Grove. They strike another one up there. It's McCarty rolling after the screen, and Childs able to find him easily. 27-19, the lead up to 8. The largest it's been all game. Christensen with it at the elbow, underneath to Rupp. Tyson Rupp with a pair of buckets here in the second quarter. And that's been a play that Lehi's tried a couple times to get the ball at that free throw line and then roam the baseline. It worked out for him there, 27-21. McCarty at the elbow, back to Childs. The three-pointer was long and then saved by PG as Leatham had the ball bounce down to him. McCarty with it. And that one goes for Matt McCarty. 12 points for McCarty tonight. So he took the jump step in the key, and Yeager again saying that was a travel. A long three by Tuckett, that one off the mark. And Childs with the board. Again, Pleasant Grove pushing it up the floor here inside of 1 minute left. Childs, no one picked him up, extra pass, three-pointer from Leatham. Leatham can be lethal. He was there, another three-pointer, and it's 32-21 Vikings. Timeout, Lehi. Pleasant Grove employing a little full court pressure here. Neal Gonna have to get it across the timeline, and quickly he does. Over to Draney as Pleasant Grove sets up in a zone defense here. Tuckett telegraphed that pass. Peterson able to knock it out, though it will stay here with the Pioneers. Clock down to 20 seconds left here in the first half. Around the screen, over to Draney. Boy, tough shot from Marcus Draney, no good, ball batted out. And it is corralled by the Vikings inside of 10 seconds left as Wellman gives a look at the clock. Down to 5, the drive from Braden Wellman is good. And Lehi won't get a shot off. What a second quarter for the Vikings. They outscore Lehi by 12 and take a 34-21 lead into the locker rooms at the half. Second half underway. The Vikings with possession and a significant lead here. But don't be fooled. This was very similar, little reversal of fortunes to the first game as Matt McCarty now with 14 points as he takes that one baseline and finishes at the glass. Was going to finish that thought. Lehi had outscored PG by 10 in that first matchup and then lost it, much as PG outscored Lehi by 12 in that second. Three-pointer no good, and Lethem will step into one. That one rimmed out on him and rebounded by Barry for the Pioneers. The lead is 14 right now. As Nygren drives into the paint and collects the foul. He'll head to the line here to shoot a pair. Never mind, they say that foul was on the floor, so it's Lehi basketball. Inbounded to Draney. Barry looking to drive, kicked over to Neal. Draney in the corner, forcing him baseline, a tough shot, and a foul called here on PG as Marcus Draney will head to the line, a 77% free throw shooter. Second foul on Brody Childs. Draney at the line shooting two, and he has his first points of the night. He hit them both. It's 36-23, and Draney, a kid averaging just under 13 per game, has had a tough night offensively. He's had a couple charges called on him as he's been trying to be aggressive. We'll see if those free throws help him to get into a bit of a rhythm as Wellman with it. McCarty comes over to set the screen, rolls off of it well. Now Childs, pull up from 10, goes glass. And Brody Childs continues his good night, 13 for him. The McCarty-Childs 1-2 punch has been effective. In the corner, dribbling out, now passing around the perimeter. Neal in the corner, Draney for three, and he drains it. His first field goal of the night and 5 points for Marcus Draney. And again, wondering if those free throws would help him find that rhythm. It did there. 38-26. Lethem gonna try to match it from straight away, and he does. Braxton Lethem, his second three-pointer of the night. The lead back to 15. Draney from the free throw line, no good. Ball batted up and out of bounds off of Lehi. Starting to get time where Lehi has to find some stops on the defensive end. Have not had many answers for this Pleasant Grove offense tonight as Wellman able to dribble in close and then gave it up to Childs. Now McCarty. What a night for McCarty. He's at 16 already, and the best part is he's only got one personal foul. We've mentioned he's had moments where the foul troubles have hampered him a bit. Not tonight, and it's proved to be pivotal for this PG offense as a corner three from Nygren is no good as Wellman pushes it up the floor again for the Vikings. And a foul here on the floor. Going to be called on Tuckett. Be his first personal. Wellman defended by Neal. Neal trying to stay close to him. The screen from McCarty and a foul here called on Neal as he will pick up his second. 4 Pioneers now with 2 fouls. Neal, Draney, Barry, and Christensen all with 2 apiece. As we've just hit the under 5-minute mark here in the third quarter. Lethem dribbles into traffic and then turns it over. Here comes Barry. leading the break for the Pioneers, attacking the glass, and a foul. They're going to say on the floor again. Wow, that one an interesting call as Lethem will pick up his second. In the last 10.5 minutes of play, Lehi's only had 3 players score the basketball. Marcus Draney, one of them. In fact, he has all 7 points here in the third quarter for Lehi. Neild had a 3-pointer in the second, and Rupp had 4 points in the second. They've been the only 3 players to score for Lehi since the first quarter. A team averaging over 70 points per ball game has struggled tonight offensively. That man has not. Braxton Lethem with his third 3-pointer, 9 points for him, and a timeout taken by Lehi as the lead now 18, 46-28. Out of the Lehi timeout. Was checking in Braden Colton. Dynamic running back for the football squad as Nygren underneath. That ball blocked away. Nygren still able to maintain the possession. Count the bucket, good, and the foul going to be called on McCarty, and Nygren will head to the line to try to convert the 3-point play. Nygren good at the line, 76% free throw shooter. The 3-point play for Tanner Nygren, a kid they'd love to get going. He's sitting now with 9. Leads scoring tonight for Lehi, and a foul called on Pleasant Grove. On the screen, the foul that time will be awarded. Sorry, didn't get a number, and they haven't announced it, so we'll have to come back with where that one went. Lehi ball, Draney was trying to get it over to Colton, but he had come off, and now it's Peterson to lay it in. And then a late foul call here on Colton. And it will be Peterson at the line to shoot a pair. Peterson at the line makes them both. First points for David Peterson, 48-31. The Viking advantage as Nygren working against Doman. Nearly got trapped with the ball. Instead, it works around. 3-pointer, good for Neild, and he got hacked in the process. He looked at the officials for help, and no help there. Frustrated. Blaze Neild could have had an opportunity at 4-point play. 48-34. McCarty in the post, defended by Barry. Peterson, 4-3. No good, and rebounded by Barry for Lehi. And now the Pioneers pushing it up. Neild with the pull-up. They say his foot was on the line. They only give him 2. Official was right there on it. 5 quick points for Blaze Neild here in the third quarter. And again, we talked, you need to get some defensive stops if you're Lehi. Peterson with it. Nygren steps out on him. Wellman working around the screens, gets it near side. Now McCarty setting up in the post, working on Barry. Good defense by Barry, but McCarty got the shot away from close range, rebounded by Draney off the miss. Neild taken over. And we've got a foul called here on Pleasant Grove. It will be Wellman picking up the personal. Childs and Brown both check in for Pleasant Grove. Neild at the line, 2 free throws, and he makes them both. Neild has scored 7 points here in the quarter, and the lead has been whittled down to 10. Wellman over to Childs and blocked by Barry. He will pick up the foul as Childs will head to the line to shoot 2. Childs missed his first free throw. His second one was good. 14 points for Brody Childs, tying him with McCarty. 49-38, minute 50 left here in the third. Draney over to Neild. He has been a key cog here in the third in this comeback. Nygren from long range is good. As the Lehi students are up behind the basket, the lead is down to 8. It was as big as 18 just a few minutes ago. Brown, and he walked with it. Guilty feet have got no rhythm, turned it over to Lehi. It is a 13-3 Lehi run, and the Pioneer fans hoping they're not done yet. Nygren trying to shake Peterson in the key. What a move by Tanner Nygren to get Peterson off his feet. Make it a 15-3 run. 49-43, Brown. Kicked out to Kuhn. Kuhn in the paint, and he walked with it. Another turnover by PG. Inside of 1 minute left here in the third quarter. Barry with it. Draney. He will back it out for Lehi. I'm going to contend with LL Cool J. You can call this a comeback. It was an 18-point lead for PG just 6 minutes ago. It's down to 6. And Lehi with a chance to get it down to one possession based on what happens here. Clock is down to 8 seconds. Barry gets it to Neal. Stuck along the baseline. Kicked out. Carlton at the horn. Left it short. Bucket no good. But it was a good quarter for Lehi. As they come back, it's 49-43 PG as we head to the fourth. Lehi basketball to start the fourth quarter. What a third quarter it was. They end on a 15-3 run and find themselves now trailing by just 6 points. Here's Nygren with it. Looking to attack. Will hand off to Barry. Now Barry through traffic. Gets it out to Nygren. The pump fake. Created a driving lane. Nygren, difficult shot blocked away by Childs. And now Draney. And a blocking foul called here on Leatham. Draney will head to the line, shooting 2. Second personal on Leatham. Draney at the line, hits them both. And the fourth quarter starts for Lehi the same way the third did. A pair of made free throws from Marcus Draney. And that really keyed a big offensive onslaught for the Pioneers. Let's see what it does over the last 7 minutes. Wellman, drive into the paint, kicked it out to Leatham. Now McCarty, he was so good in that first half. Working in the post, gets a step, couldn't finish, and then the ball out off of Barry. It will stay here with PG. 49-45, lob to Childs and broken up. The foul here on Barry as Childs to the line to shoot 2. Childs again missed his first free throw. His second free throw, good. The lead is 5. Nygren calling for the screen from Carlton. Nygren trying to drive. Boy, dangerous pass over to Rupp, able to get it to him. Wellman nearly able to steal it. Rupp, a corner three is good. Tyson Rupp hasn't scored since the second quarter, and that three-pointer makes it one possession, 50-48. Kuhn to try to answer. It rimmed out. There's Childs with the board. Couldn't get it to go. And here come the Pioneers. Nygren to Carlton in the paint. And he is fouled. And to the line will go Braden Carlton as McCarty picks up his third. Carlton's first free throw wouldn't go. His second one here does. In the last 7 minutes, Lehi has outscored PG by 17. The lead is down to 1. Nygren up to defend Wellman. Again, the winner of this one will face Skyview. Lob to McCarty! Count Leatham with the assist. What a play! This offense that has not been in sync was in sync there. Three-pointer from Rupp, no good. And Childs with the rebound. Leatham looking to drive now. Over to McCarty again. And that one rolled off the rim as Coach McAllister wanted a whistle. Nygren, a pull-up three. hits the front of the rim, rebounded by Childs, and a foul called here on the floor. It will be credited to Rupp, his first. 52-49, Pleasant Grove basketball. Finish that thought from a couple possessions ago. The winner will play Skyview in the first round of the 5A state playoffs. Backdoor to Leatham. His first bucket, though, is not a three-pointer tonight, is Leatham now with 11. Draney, blocked away by Childs. Childs has had 2 or 3 of those tonight. That one maybe the most emphatic. Nygren was looking to hand off, not Nygren, it was Neal looking to hand off. Now Draney for 3, skips across the rim like a rock. And Pleasant Grove with the basketball. The lead is 5-4-40 left here in the contest. Wellman had Leatham, that's where he goes with it. Kuhn, back to Leatham. And a timeout taken by Coach McAllister and the Vikings. Out of the Viking timeout. We'll see what Coach McAllister has drawn up. A foul here on the floor by Draney, his third personal. On the front end, left it short and rebounded by Lehi. Both teams in the bonus. We're shooting free throws the rest of the way. Here's Nygren, over to Neal. Defended by Wellman, now Draney. As we have just hit the midway point of this fourth quarter. Nygren looking to drive in the paint, got guys in the air, still able to get it off, and somehow it went down for Tanner Nygren. Boy, he did that amongst all sorts of weeds down in the paint. And 16 for Nygren, 54-51. McCarty. And that ball deflected, though Lehi couldn't get the possession. Wellman driving on Neal, and a kick out. Leatham 3 is no good. Rebound to Neal. Rupp, he's going to try to tie it. And he can't do it. That ball deflected out. It will go to PG. Wellman across the timeline as we approach 3 minutes left here. Leatham, go for pursuit by Rupp. Now Childs in the paint, and he lost that one. They say out off of Lehi. It will stay here with the Vikings. Inbounded to Childs and blocked, and then they say a foul here on Nygren as he had the tall task of defending Childs. Now Childs to the line to shoot 2. 2 free throws for Brody Childs. He makes them both. Big free throws there for the senior. That's 56-51, that lead back up to 5. Lehi got as close as 1. Underneath, Childs able to tip it away. And PG's leading steal man creates another one there. And another timeout taken here by Coach McAllister. Inbounded in the backcourt with Wellman. Lehi in a man. Nygren defending Wellman. Neal. I've done that a couple times tonight. My apologies to both of them. Childs will hand off. Braden Wellman, a good ball handler. Not the tallest guard in the state, but sure-handed, and one you'd love to have. The lob to McCarty is good, and count the bucket. A foul on the play. For the second time, McCarty able to finish the lob, and a chance to finish a three-point play. McCarty at the line, no good. The ball chased down by Kuhn, and the possession saved by PG. As big of a play as we've had all night, and a timeout taken with Kuhn in trouble by Pleasant Grove. One timeout left for the Vikings as Childs to inbound. Lob to McCarty. They couldn't finish. Gives it back to Brody Childs, who does. 60-51, the lead back up to 9 as Draney with the attack. He gets fouled on the play, and he will head to shoot 2. Draney, 2 shots at the line, and he makes them both. Pleasant Grove to inbound, nowhere to go with the ball. They finally get it into Leatham. As he rushes it up the floor here, inside of 2 minutes left. And then a foul called here, as it will go against Neild, his third. On Draney. So Draney just picked up his fourth at the line, and Lehi missed them both. Inside of 2 minutes left. 60-53, Draney now trying to drive. Tough, as Van Komen came in to contend it. And Draney back to the line to shoot. Draney 1 of 2, and then chased down the rebound. Blocked away by McCarty. 60-54, minute and a half left here as Wellman able to settle it down, and Coach McAllister will take his final timeout. Lehi back to Wellman. So he's now dribbling things around. Happy to take time off. Neild defending him tightly. Now Childs getting through the double team. McCarty underneath. And that might have been blocked away by Berry. They call the foul, and that is the fifth on Chase Berry. He has fouled out. McCarty makes them both. 22 points for him. 62-54, 1:15 left here in the contest. Pleasant Grove out in front, and Lehi right now needing some real dramatics if they want to pull this one off. Draney in the corner, baseline drive, floats it over, and it rimmed out on him. The rebound there by Rupp, and then he is blocked out of bounds. Inside of 1 minute left, and inbounded to Ethan Tuckett. Over to Nygren, a long three-pointer, no good, rebounded by Wellman. He'll push it up the floor. Over to Lehi, attacking, blocked away by Rupp, and then that one crossed the out-of-bounds line. Lehi inbounded to McCarty, and he's fouled immediately. Again, 2 free throws for McCarty. He went 1 of 2, missed that second one, 63-54. Nygren leaves it for Neild. Back to him. In the corner, Rupp for 3, no good. And that ball brought in by Lehi, and he is fouled. 2 of 2 for Lehi, 65-54. Neild, a desperation 3, won't go. Ball batted around, and it's Childs who brings it in for PG. Clock at 15, and they'll foul Lehi again. Coach McAllister pulls his seniors to well-deserved ovations as this one all but final. Tuckett's shot no good. The rebound tracked down by PG, though it's Neild. Clock at 5. Draney for 3. That's good, though it won't matter. There's the horn. 66-57. The Vikings are heading to the state playoffs. Pleasant Grove and Lehi, the last game of the regular season, and playoffs on the line. The winner tonight is punching their ticket to state. The loser maybe has another game to go. The Pleasant Grove Vikings and Lehi, and early on it was PG getting off to a great start. It was Matt McCarty down low early on, and then his teammate Brody Childs. These two carried the way in the first quarter for Pleasant Grove. They got off to a hot start. Lehi would chip away late in that first quarter. It was a lead that got to about 6 for Pleasant Grove before things finally started going for Lehi, as it was Tanner Nygren had a strong first quarter for the Pioneers. After one, it was 15-14. We looked like we had a doozy of a ball game here tonight from Valhalla. Second quarter, and it did not take long for the Vikings to find their offense. Early on, Brody Childs finishing off the alley-oop. It made it 20-14. And then a little bit later, Kuhn, the senior, for 3, their best three-point shooter. The lead up to 9 for Pleasant Grove. Later in the quarter, Lehi, lethal from beyond the arc, 32-21, the Pleasant Grove lead. They would tack another one on late. It's 34-21 at the break, and what was a close game has started to get out of hand. Second half, and Lehi trying to find something. Marcus Draney with a big three-pointer, but again for Pleasant Grove, Braxton Lehi there to answer it. A 3 to answer, and then just a little bit later, Lehi would tack another 3 on. This one getting out of hand here at Valhalla. 46-28 Vikings. This is a Lehi squad that averaged over 70 points per ball game. They would come back. It would be Draney, who got things going, had that three-pointer, had another nice bucket. Then Neild and Nygren start to chip in that third quarter. Neild a big three-pointer here. A little later, Nygren would add one from deep, and a lead that was all the way up to 18. They would go on a 15-3 run to close out the quarter. The Pioneers would, and heading to the fourth, it's 49-43, Vikings still out front. Start of the fourth quarter, and a couple free throws by Draney would again chip away that lead, and then a big three-pointer here by Rupp, and we're down to one possession, the lead for the PG Vikings. It would get as close as 50-49 with just 6 minutes to play here from Valhalla. What do you do? It's a 17-point run put on by the Pioneers. Coach McAllister wasn't sure, but his players were listening.
You know what, I don't even remember what I told. I think I used 3 timeouts in about 40 seconds. But, you know, we just wanted to settle down and stop allowing them good looks from the three-point line. They're a team that could come back very quickly on you from the three-point line. So we wanted to defend it and make them dribble, run them off the three-point line a little bit, and settle down on offense to get the ball to Matt McCarty, who had a phenomenal night tonight. And the boys settled down and made it happen.
He just told us to not let them shoot threes, you know, man up on defense, run them off the three-point line. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, they're just a shooting team, and that's what they can do is they get in games with threes. And so our game plan, we called a timeout. We said we got to make sure we get out on threes, and that's what we did. We played out well.
It would be Matt McCarty who showed up all throughout this ball game, but coming out, Leatham able to find him on the lob. That would make it 52-49. Just a couple possessions later, Leatham able to finish. The lead slowly creeping up, back up to 5 now, 52-49. And then again, Wellman, this time to McCarty, extending that lead, and that senior presence, the senior-laden PG squad, able to pull this one away late. In the end, the balance for Pleasant Grove was too much to handle. McCarty finished with 23. Childs finished with 19. The unspoken man tonight, Braxton Leatham. This is a kid who is a good three-point shooter. He scored 14 points, had a number of assists, as did Wellman. That balance tonight proved to be effective and key tonight for Pleasant Grove picking up this big win. With this, they have solidified a spot in the state playoffs. Congratulations to the Vikings. For the Pioneers, they're going to go home and check scores and see if they have another game. They may have one more to play in for what would be the number 4 seed out of this ever so tough Region 4. And now it's come time for us to award our player of the game. A number of kids we could choose from. We've got to give it to Matt McCarty. 23 points. He ruled the paint tonight. He stayed out of foul trouble, did a great job on the glass. Matt McCarty was key tonight. We talked about the lobs, the alley-oops. He was the man tonight for Pleasant Grove, and give a lot of credit to Leatham, to Childs, to Wellman to be able to get the ball to him and take advantage of his physicality down low. Matt McCarty, our player of the game. Congratulations to him. Well, we want to thank you for joining us on this edition of High School Rewind. It's been our privilege bringing to you. For Mike Christensen, my name is Dane Stewart. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time here on High School Rewind.